And from that night on, it was never the same again. It literally, I could cry um, talking about it actually. So,
Beautiful.
first, I just want to say thank you. That changed my life.
Okay, so I can see Katie's got a hand up. Should we go to Katie?
Hi, hello everyone.
Hi, Katie.
I just felt that I just wanted to report back because of Ben's comment, because it just seems so. I know this is a pathless path, but there is definitely a seeming path.
Yeah.
And it just brought me back to when I first found you. And I think it's probably a year and a half ago. And even though I'd done a lot of work and thought I was pretty evolved, this same stuff kept reoccurring. And I remember listening, I listened to all of your videos probably about 4 times over, every single one of them, and the whole, everything on that thing I've listened to.
That's
But at this
commitment.
particular moment, it was I remember staying up all night and just having this like really dark night of the soul and just meeting this pain that I'd thought I was kind of trying to do my best with for many, many years. But it was the fear of the fear itself, I realized. And in that moment, I sat up like minute after minute, just meeting it where it was at, turning my triggers into treasures and and kind of really seeing that there was no issue in meeting that, even though it felt the thought of it is so painful. But I realized that when I was going into my mind and the stories of of being homeless and unloved and all of that, for the first time ever, I managed to just keep coming back to the sensations in the body. And I can't remember exactly. I can always get it wrong, but I think Sue, your wife, first came up with that um, thoughts
I
will
can tell
never.
you it was Sue. Alex. Thought cannot heal your pain, presence will transform it.
Yeah, and that in and of itself was like my total like North Star. And from that night on, it was never the same again. It literally, I could cry um, talking about it actually, because I've had there's life situations come up, but I know that night I met myself where I was at, and with presence and with awareness. And so kind of recently my daughter was diagnosed with something that I thought was really could potentially be awful, and there was a lot of scare, but I was so peaceful.
Good.
I was so peaceful in that, and just little by little there's just the ability to just watch the thoughts go and know that I more and more am that which I've been seeking for. So
Beautiful.
first, I just want to say thank you. That changed my life, and yeah, it's a continuing kind of seeing really of you know just being able to yeah handle this.
Excellent.
So thank you. Just wanted to share.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And that hopefully will inspire others as well, meeting it, facing it. And
Mhm.
the phrase that you pointed at, which I didn't say to Ben, but is very relevant, and I share it many times, just for everybody else's benefit who have not heard it before. Thought cannot heal your pain. Presence will transform it. In that one sentence is really everything you need to know about self-realization. You referred to it as your North Star, Katie, and that's a good way of looking at it because it really is a powerful insight. a powerful insight. And actually, I'll just say a little bit about how that came about. It was actually Sue and I were having a long conversation. My wife has had plenty of, shall we say, trauma to face in her life without going into the detail of that. And we were exploring that in depth in a conversation one day on a beach up here in North Yorkshire on Sands End. And she was asking lots of questions and we were exploring it. And the kind of conversation went on for quite a while. And it finished at the point when I said, in the end, you're going to see this for yourself. She'd asked lots of questions, we'd explored lots of things. And it was when we were driving back, actually, Sue was driving back, and I was dozing in the passenger seat. She, I came to, and she said, you know, that conversation we had, this is what came to me. Thought cannot heal your pain, presence will transform it. And that captured it, and I've shared it ever since. It's a beautiful insight. So, really, thanks very much to Katie for sharing that. And once you've had the experience that Katie's had there, and there was some big pain there that she was clearly facing, and throughout the night, the dark night of the soul that she called it. Once that's become experiential and you're facing it, feeling it, and listening, and coming back to this presence, coming back to this presence, coming back to this presence equals awareness equals silence equals true self. Once that process has become experiential, there really is nothing for you to fear. Because Katie even talked about facing the fear of fear. That was a great insight. The fear of fear. That's a delusion of the mind. To fear the fear. This presence, this awareness, this stillness, this silence fears nothing at all, is affected by none of it. And that is who you really are. And so the reason Katie experienced it as a North Star is because it's true, not because she believed necessarily what Philip was saying or the insight that came to my wife. It's because being seen directly, experientially, recognized. So, as tough as that dark night of the soul was, what Katie also then wants to say, that has really been, it was life transforming for her because she trusted that. And even though she said she'd done all this other work before, ultimately it's only through this awareness, stillness, silence, presence that the true transformation is going to take place. It doesn't mean all the other stuff that went before was wrong or bad. Actually, they're fantastic stepping stones, gifts from awareness to bring you to the point where you're ready for this. So that was a great share. So thank you for sharing that, Katie. I much appreciated. A great inspiration to others, I'm sure.
which I've been seeking for. So,
Beautiful.
first, I just want to say thank you. That changed my life.